Sometimes Minneapolis can feel like the smallest big city in the world, or the biggest small city. But one thing that's not so small is our music scene. From Prince to Bob Dylan to Atmosphere and The Replacements, plenty of small acts have made it out of the state and on to national and global success. Another band to make it out of Minneapolis and on to larger success was my dad's band, Soul Asylum. In the early 1990s, Soul Asylum was close to calling it quits due to arguments, illness, and poor record sales, but they never gave up. Through years of hard work and dedication, Soul Asylum climbed the top of the music ladder, including Rolling Stone covers, Grammys, and millions of records sold, forever changing my dad's life. My dad, Dan Murphy, was born on July 12, 1962, in Duluth, Minnesota, home of Bob Dylan. When my dad was 13, my grandmother remarried into a family with older children who passed their love of music down on to my dad. My dad would share records with his stepbrother and was also given guitar lessons at a young age. Dan always described himself as an introverted kid who would much rather sit in his room writing music and playing guitar than playing sports with friends. This gave him plenty of time to practice the craft, and hometown hero Bob Dylan was a great inspiration to him. Quickly, guitar became my dad's life. He would save all of his money to buy new guitars and anything else to further improve his guitar playing ability. Nothing changed when he moved to Minneapolis. Fresh out of high school in 1981, the band was formed under the name Loud Fast Rules. The band consisted of my dad, Dave Perner, Carl Mueller, and Pat Morley. 2 years later, Pat Morley left the band, and Grant Young joined. From then on, they were known as Soul Asylum. In 1984, Soul Asylum signed their first deal with local recording company Twin Tone Records and started performing more frequently. Using $600 they'd saved from party shows, the band bought a van and drove to New York with the goal of just managing to get by. We made it to New York and back, and then the van died. And then we had to do a couple of gigs so we can buy another van, my dad says. Soul Asylum recorded 3 albums on Twin Tone Records. Say What You Will, Clarence, Carl Sold a Truck in 1984, Made to Be Broken in 1986, and While You Were Out in 1986. Soul Asylum signed to Universal Music Group's A&M Records in 1988. A much larger label than Twin Tone. Under A&M Records, Soul Asylum released 2 albums, Hang Time in 1988 and The Horse They Rode In On in 1990. These albums brought Soul Asylum their first taste of success, 2 singles on Billboard's modern rock charts. Although signing a deal to a nationally recognized record label and commercial success were a step in the right direction, A&M Records was a very frustrating place for the band. Soul Asylum didn't fit into the specific sound A&M Records wanted, and refusing to change their signature sound, the band left, a move that cost him $200,000. After doing a number of acoustic shows, Sony's Columbia Records discovered Soul Asylum, the break they've been waiting for. In 1992, Soul Asylum released Grave Dancers Union, what would become their most popular album. With the first single, Somebody to Shove, the band was reunited to the Billboard's modern rock chart, this time skyrocketing to number 1 almost instantly. The second single, Black Gold, also reached the top of the chart, but the band hadn't even began to reach the peak of their success yet. In May of 1993, the band released their third single, Runaway Train, except this single wasn't limited to just the rock charts. It actually hit number 5 on the Billboard's Top 100. Within the next few months, Soul Asylum landed on the cover of Rolling Stone twice, performed for Saturday Night Live, MTV Unplugged, David Letterman, Jay Leno, and even President Clinton's inauguration party. The band even won the Grammy for Best Rock Song in 1993. Grave Dancers Union went double platinum and stayed on the charts for a total of 76 weeks. Years of hard work finally paid off. It's funny because when our first record with Sony came out, it sold 200 times the one before it, and people thought that we were a brand new band, and that was, our 6th record, and we've been around for 10 years, but that got lost on people. We really started this little thing, and it got a little bit bigger, all the time, and it was really self-repelling for a long time, says Murphy. After the release of Grave Dancers Union, Soul Asylum took time off, but has since released 3 records, and despite one more single, the band has never managed to regain their previous success. Although still in Soul Asylum, my dad has since joined the roster of Golden Smog, with members of The Replacements, Wilco, the Jayhawks, Run Westy Run, the Honey Dogs, and Big Star. Dan still tours a few months of the year, but he now has a successful online antique and painting business, Grapefruit Moon Gallery, a very humble conclusion to his mainstream success. My dad was able to spend his 20s traveling the world and doing what he loved every night, which I believe would be a dream come true.
They say misery, love. start a company.